What's up guys, it's your boy Cam back again with another video from Grapplers Graveyard. Today I am reviewing the fully loaded Alpha Fuel pouches. A couple days ago we reviewed another nootropic pouch company and got some good feedback from you guys, so we wanted to go through and put together another test for another brand that we are trying out. I've been on a little bit of a kick for nootropic pouches as of lately. Main reason is because I get tired at the end of my workday and I'm looking for an alternative fuel source to be able to get me through tough workouts after having long days at work. Alpha Fuel is one that actually I was put on from a friend. He had mentioned them a while back while we were talking about training, working out, supplements, kind of the whole nine. Since I'm always looking for help to get me going after work before I hit the mats or hit the gym, I figured I'd give them a real shot. So today I'm going to be breaking down the ingredients, the flavor, my actual experience, both in the gym setting as well as using these for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or BJJ, whichever one you want to kind of call it. And at the end, I'll kind of tell you whether or not they're worth your money. Let's go ahead and jump right into today's video. So these are the Alpha Fuel pouches. Get these in various different flavors on Amazon from their website, but same concept as other nootropic pouches. If you've seen some of the other reviews, they are going to be small pouches, goes right under your lip. The ingredients do absorb through your gums, so there's no drink, no mixing, no prep, just kind of pop it in and get going. The main thing that separates Alpha Fuel from something like a nicotine pouch is obviously that it is nicotine-free formula. So instead they're using caffeine and a nootropic blend to kind of give you the boost that you're looking for. At the end of the day, right, like what I tell my friends when I ask them about their opinion about this is that you may not feel all too intense like you would with a nicotine-based pouch, right? Like this is meant to give you energy, and sometimes energy is just helping you move forward throughout the day. At the end of the day, each pouch has about 50 milligrams of caffeine, which is on the lower end, but most energy drinks are double or even 4 times that same amount. So if you're someone like myself and looking for an energy alternative as you get towards the back half of your day and you don't want to slam an energy drink, this is absolutely perfect. It's about the same caffeine intake as like a cup of coffee, but different flavor. So right away, just so you guys have an expectation, it should be a subtle lift. It's not a hard pre-workout, it's not a stimulant or anything related to that. Actual specific use case, I use it for training after I get to around 4 or 5 p.m. Around that window when my brain is starting to check out from the day at work, but I still have duties that I have to go and take care of. The lower dose does actually give me the ability to feel good while I'm on the mats. It helps me feel focused, helps me feel less lethargic. That can be a recurring issue as I kind of go through the day and get towards the back half. Formula here for Alpha Fuel is pretty similar to what Ultra had. The main driver again is going to be caffeine. They have about 50 milligrams helping you with alertness, reaction, mental clarity, kind of all just a blend. The second key ingredient in Alpha Fuel is going to be the Alpha-GPC, which is a nootropic compound that supports neurotransmitters inside of the brain. The adocline, I believe is what it's called. It's a transmitter that is tied directly to memory, focus, and various brain functions. It has been showing up in a lot of these focus or nutrition pouches as of lately. It's in Ultra, it's in Alpha, and I do plan on trying out a handful of other nootropic pouches to see if they have different blends, different formulas to kind of get the same result. What's really interesting about this formula is that because the caffeine dose is lower, the focus element from Alpha-GPC actually stands out a little bit more than any of the other ones that I've tried at this point. It's less of an energy product and more of a focus product, if I would put it in that category. The mild, with kind of a little bit of a mild energy component to it. The distinction kind of matters depending on what you're really looking for in the overall ingredient stack. At the end of the day, it's really clean, it's really straightforward, so there's nothing to be concerned about in that sense when I actually looked at this. As for the flavor profile here, I tried the mango. I maybe made a mistake in buying 5 cans of the mango flavor rather than going with the variety pack. The flavor on this does hit relatively quick. You put the pouch again under your lip and the taste is pretty much right away. What I will say about Alpha Fuel is that these pouches compared to Ultra are a little bit drier. They're not as moist, so they do have a little different texture. So when you do slip it in, it takes a little bit of time to absorb the moisture, but the taste is pretty much right away. It does kind of taste like mango, like a mango flavored I have electrolytes over there that I try. Kind of tastes almost exactly like my electrolytes that I have, but it is a little bit on the sweeter side. I don't mind it. Didn't bother me all too much, but when I had other people trying out this product alongside of me, it did bother them. It was a little bit more on the artificial side. So if that's something that you care about, it's definitely something worth noting, at least for this flavor. But one thing that I did notice about Alpha Fuel's pouches, I don't know if this is flavor dependent or if it's brand dependent. This one did not have the cooling sensation that Ultras did. Granted, the cooling sensation was in their mint product. So again, like once I actually try the mint flavor here, or somebody in the comments can let me know. But yeah, with the mango flavor, there's basically no cooling sensation. Some pouches do give you that kind of cold feeling under the lip. I like that. I like that sense. Alpha Fuel didn't. Again, like it wasn't, I don't know if it's the flavor, if it's the brand, but again, I can report back to be able to see if that is the case. Now, if you're someone that does like that cooling sensation in the mouth, like myself, would definitely suggest going with like the mint flavors, wintergreen, of that nature. They do, again, have a variety pack that you can choose from on Amazon. The flavor does last for a solid 20 to 30 minutes, which is decent. At the end of the day, it's kind of like the same thing as the Ultra pouches. After that, it does just kind of fade into more of a neutral, not as pleasant kind of taste, but it's just sitting there in your mouth. If I was buying this again, I would 1000% grab a variety pack versus just going with one specific can with one specific flavor. At the end of the day, like I haven't tried all their flavors quite yet, but it is worth it to try a few so that you know which one you like, so then you can just dive into those ones kind of going forward. Diving into a little bit more about my experience using these pouches, specifically Alpha Fuel. My main use case was exactly what these pouches are kind of built for. It's like post-work, pre-training, trying to get through the rest of the day while being able to not be addicted to something through nicotine or not be overly caffeinated where my sleep is completely ruined. When I finish my day, I am absolutely mentally wiped and I still have to go to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or potentially hit the gym. The effects do kick in somewhere within like 10 to 15 minutes when I start feeling more energized. Again, after I put the pouch inside of my lip. Again, this is not a big wave of stimulation, just kind of like a gradual shift where I feel a little bit more awake, a little bit more alert, a little bit more tuned in. And during rolling, especially after work, I noticed that it did help me kind of go through those longer sessions without mentally gassing myself out, even on those days where I don't necessarily feel all too into it. One thing I do appreciate about these pouches, the pouch itself, when it's actually inside your lip, is pretty comfortable. It sits under without really like feeling too bulky or distracting, so like you can actually keep it in and just train with it inside your mouth. But in all honesty, training jiu-jitsu with a pouch in may not be the safest thing. You might choke, especially if somebody's going across your face, doing a cross face, trying to get you under the neck, moving, sprawl, the whole nine, right? So you might choke on the pouch if that's the case. So I would definitely suggest taking it before you actually train. If you're going to jiu-jitsu or if you're going to the gym, using this, use it in your first couple sets. It's a little bit different when you're actually working out and lifting weights. So compared to Ultra pouches, I believe that Ultra is going to be the better product here, but you get more value out of Alpha Fuel's product. So you get more of the product for your money, which matters if you're kind of using these regularly and wanting to be a little bit more budget conscious. But in terms of the overall performance and experience, I still prefer Ultra. Cooling sensation for their product is noticeably stronger. The focus feels a little bit more dialed in, and the flavor just felt cleaner overall. I do also like that their pouches were a little bit more moist. Alpha feels a little bit more dry, but again, like if you're looking for value, looking to get more of these products, 3 cans of Ultra for $35. I got 5 cans here for $35. So if experience and performance is your priority, Ultra edges it out. If you're more budget conscious and want something functional that works, Alpha Fuel is the alternative that holds it all together. Neither one is, at the end of the day, a bad choice. They're just slightly different in the products that you're going to be using. At the end of the day, fully loaded Alpha Fuel pouches do exactly what they're supposed to do. You're dragging yourself to the gym after a long day at work, and you need something small and convenient to help you flip the switch mentally. These ultimately work, and I've had a great experience with this product. The flavor could be a little bit better, personally. Wish that they may have had like the cooling element to this, but again, I don't know if that's just because of the flavor that I chose, or if it's the difference between the products. If you're a combat sports athlete who trains late, if you're someone who hates energy drinks but still needs that afternoon boost, or if you're curious about nootropic pouches in general, I think that these are worth trying. At the end of the day, go and grab a variety pack, see what flavor works for you best. You might like something different than I like. Links are going to be in the description where you can buy them directly from Amazon and see the full written review that we wrote, again, in the bio. If this was helpful, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.